Hello, welcome. Let's try to solve another Leetcode problem 1975 maximum matrix sum. So I think this is going to be a really interesting problem. So we are given n times n integer matrix. You can do the following operations any number of times. So the operation going to be, we can choose two adjacent elements of a matrix and multiply each of them by -1. So what is its meaning? So for example, we can choose two neighboring cells in elements inside the matrix. So for example, this is 1, this is -1, and then it's going to become 1 and -1. And then we can choose those two -1s together and let all of them become 1. And then the sum of all the elements going to be maximized. So it's going to be 4. Yeah. So two elements are considered adjacent if and only if they share a border. So this means for any element, they must share a border. It can go to the top, right, bottom, or on left. Yeah, it can go to 4 directions. But for each of the time, we can only choose two neighboring elements. So our goal is to maximize the summation of the matrix element. So we're going to return the maximum sum of the matrix element using the operations mentioned above. So we can use this kind of operation as many as possible. So here, while you are seeing this problem, we need to think about what is the logic behind this kind of operation. I mean, if we can multiply each of the elements by -1, what's going to happen for all of them? So let's just think about one thing. So let me just draw a random matrix. So this is a random matrix. Yeah. So let's just imagine. So all the elements inside is positive integers, but there are some positions which are going to have like 2 or 3 negative elements. So what's going to happen? So for example, this is a -1 and this is a -1. So what's going to happen if we do such kind of operation? Can we transmit this -1 to this position? Yes, we can. So this is going to become a +1, and we can transmit this element to here. It's going to be a -1, and now we can do those two -1s together and let all of them become +1s. Yeah. So what is the idea behind it? So this means inside the matrix, if there are even number of elements, which is negative integers, so we can let all of them become positive integers. So this is the idea. So if you know about it, basically you know how to solve the problem. So what happens if it is odd? So what happens if there is only one negative element? So for example, we have only one negative element, it is here. Can we let this -1 become a +1? So what happens if there is a +1? We want to let this -1 become +1, but this becomes -1. This is not okay. So in which case we can let this -1 become a +1, and at the same time we will not influence other elements. Now we still have this kind of a situation. So for example, so if we have an element of 0, can we do that? Yes, we can, because for 0 it doesn't matter. Yeah. So for the odd number of elements, if there's no 0, so this is okay. Yeah. But if there's a 0, we can turn all the negative elements to positive element. Yeah. But if there's a negative element which is odd, the number of negative elements which is odd, and there's no 0. Yeah. So what are we gonna do? So for example, I'm gonna use try to use another number. Maybe I'm gonna use -4, because yeah, this is a better example. So what if we have a -4? So will we just leave this -4, or we will still do some transformations? So for example, if we have a number 1, so in order to make the total sum of the matrix bigger, why not we turn this -4 to +4 and turn this 1 to -1? Yeah, because there's no 0. And then this is bigger than before, because currently 4 minus 1 it is a 3, but before minus 4 plus 1 it is a negative 3, so 3 is better. So this means inside the matrix, if there's a odd number of negative numbers and there's no 0 inside, so what are we gonna do? So we're gonna turn all the elements to positive element, and then we find the smallest element and we will give this small element a negative sign. Yeah, so this is gonna be the whole idea to solve the problem. Yeah. Now let's just begin. So I'm gonna prepare R and C, gonna be length of the matrix and length of the matrix 0. Now I want to prepare two arrays. One is a positive array, another is a negative array. So from the beginning, they are all empty. Now I'm gonna check one by one. So for R in range, capital R, and for C in range, capital C. So I'm gonna check the positive or negative of the current element. So if matrix R and C, I want to put all the positive integers inside the positive array, and 0 and negative inside the negative array. Maybe this gonna be yeah, let me put it non-positive. So this is a no positive. Yeah, maybe non-positive array. Yeah. So first of all, if this is more than 0, so definitely I want to put it inside the positive array. So positive array gonna append the value, which is gonna be matrix R and C. But what if it is a non-positive? So I'm gonna use the non-positive array, gonna append similarly it's gonna be the matrix RC. Yeah. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a check. So first of all, we're gonna check how many negative integers inside. So if yeah, so if the length of the non-positive integer modulo 2 equal to 0, so definitely what are we gonna do? So we're gonna turn all the non-positive integers to positive integers and plus the positive integers. So it's gonna be the final result. So it doesn't matter if there's a 0 inside, but if the length is even, so for example inside we may have like minus 3, minus 4, or 0, or 0, it doesn't matter. Yeah, or we have a minus 3, minus 4, maybe minus 10, and 0. So what happens for this array? Yeah, if there's a 0, it is okay. It's gonna always be positive integers finally. But if there's no zeros, it is still also okay. It is minus 10, for example, minus 4, minus 3, minus 10, minus 10. So it's gonna always become positive integers finally, because this is even. So this means we can directly return the final result. So we're gonna yeah, first of all, let me put a positive of 2. It's gonna be minus n for n in non-positive integers. And finally, I'm gonna return the sum of the positive plus positive 2. Yeah, so this means the total number is even for in the first example. Yeah. Now let me just return a random value on 0 and to check if we can pass the first example. Let me just run it. Yeah, as you can see, it passed the first example. It means our guess is right, our calculation is right. But for the second, it didn't work because we didn't prepare it yet. Yeah. Now, what happens is if it is even. So for example, if it is odd, so the length of the non-positive modular 2, if yeah, if this is odd. First of all, we're gonna turn all those non-negative and non-positive to positive, and then we're gonna check if there's a 0 inside. So if there's a 0 inside, so everything should be okay. Yeah, so if there's no 0 inside, definitely we want to find the minimum number. Yeah. So else we're gonna prepare the let me think about it. Can I do it better? Yeah, maybe I can still continually do it from here. So still, I want to turn this prepare a positive 2. Let me put this positive 2 maybe here. Yeah, still I gonna have this positive 2. Now I want to unsort it, because currently it's gonna have 0 or positive integers inside this positive 2 array. So if positive 2 0 equal to 0, so I'm gonna return the sum of the positive plus positive 2. So else I'm gonna find, this means if the first number is not 0, so I'm gonna find the first number, so it's gonna be the positive 2 0. I'm gonna assign the positive 2 0. So after here I'm gonna sort it. So positive 2, I'm gonna sort it, and in this way, if there's a 0, it means the first place is gonna be on 0. So otherwise, if it is not 0, I'm gonna set the positive 2 0, gonna equal to minus positive 2 0. And finally, I'm gonna return the total sum of positive and positive 2. Yeah. Now let me just run it to check if it works. Now as you can see, it works. Now let me just submit it to check if it can pass. Yeah, in some cases it didn't work. Yeah, in this example, I think I think I did something wrong. If there's a 0 inside, everything is okay. But if there's no 0 inside, I need to, so from here, I need to sort not only positive 2, I need to prepare a positive 2 to be, to be all of them. So positive 2 gonna equal to positive 2 plus the positive. I mean, I need to prepare all the numbers, otherwise you can see this case it didn't work. I need to find the smallest number. Actually, it is not minus 4, it is a negative 1, finally. Yeah, in this case, maybe it can become bigger, like 34, because this is like minus 4 with 1, it is minus 3. Now we're gonna plus 6, so 28 plus 6 is gonna be 34. Yeah, so for the positive 2, we're gonna turn it to positive 2 plus a positive. So after that, we're gonna sort the positive 2. So positive 2, so we're gonna sort it. So after sorting, we're gonna turn the smallest number to negative, and then we calculate. Yeah, now let me just run it and put it. It didn't work. Yeah, I did something wrong. Yeah, so here gonna be positive 2. Yeah, So now let me just run it. Now as you can see it works, because currently let me check if there's a 0 inside. So this gonna also be the positive 2. Now let me just run it, because currently I used the positive 2. Yeah, because positive 2 becomes positive 2 plus this positive. Yeah, I think now it works. Now let me just submit it to check if it works. Yeah, now as you can see it works and it's pretty fast. But I don't need to do that, you know. If positive 2 equal to 0, I need to return the sum of all of them. Actually, I don't need to do that. Yeah, because anyway, I will return the sum of the positive 2. Even if there's no 0 inside, it doesn't matter. Let me think about it. Yeah, even there's a 0 inside, it doesn't matter, because if it is odd, I always want to find the smallest number, and the smallest number, if there's a 0 inside, it's going to be 0, and it will not change the final result, so I don't need to have this tag. Now let me just run it and submit it. Yeah, now as you can see it also works. I know there's a lot of coding, maybe it can be simplified or make it concise, but this is just the basic idea. Basically we want to check the non-positive array if it is even or odd. If it is even, we can directly return the final result. We just turn the non-positive to positive integers and put them inside. And if it is not, we're gonna put them together and we're gonna sort it and find the smallest number, and we're gonna turn the smallest number from positive to negative, and then we get return the final result. I think that's all about it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.